All praise belongs to Allah Azza wa Jal, who has provided us the opportunity to come to His house. We ask Allah to make us amongst the accepted people. We ask Allah to grant us barakah in the remaining days of this month and take us to the blessed month of Ramadan. Allahumma ballighna Ramadan, Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. We ask Allah to grant us the khair of this day and protect us from all types of evil. We ask Allah to grant us the ability to maximize the benefit of the day of Jum'ah. As we go through some of the etiquettes of the day of Jum'ah, because this is a very precious day, and to maximize the benefit, a person knows the reward for every action that he or she may be doing, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His mercy and rahmah can descend. Because this is the day that Allah Azza wa Jal has specially given to the believers. It was reserved by Allah Azza wa Jal, and it was the wish and the desire and the want of Allah that this day should be given to the Muslim community. So it's a very precious day. It's a day of celebration in a sense that Allah Azza wa Jal has granted us the ability to be in this blessed day of Jum'ah. And then at the same time, we ask Allah to grant us the assistance to be able to maximize its benefit. So we talked about the importance of the day. We talked about starting with the ghusl, which is the sunnah of the day of Jum'ah. Putting on the best clothing that you have or clean clothing that you have. This is also part of the sunnah of the day of Jum'ah. وَتَطَيَّبَ, as the hadith described, مِن بَيْتِهِ, that he should get some fragrance from his house and use it before coming for Jum'ah. And the thing is, the hadith describes that he should use the fragrance of his house. So the muhaddithin, they go on to two specific details on this word of the hadith. Because it could have been said, just use any fragrance that is available to you. But the specification of the hadith, وَتَطَيَّبَ مِن طِيبِ بَيْتِهِ, that he uses fragrance from the fragrance of his house. So that means that we need to beautify our homes with fragrance on the day of Jum'ah and then use some of it before coming to Jum'ah. So that barakah comes into the house. A person puts different types of air fresheners and air wick and this and that. But to do it on the day of Jum'ah so that the house can be smelling good, this is part of the practice that we learn from the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that on the day of Jum'ah, make it feel in your house that is the day of Jum'ah. So when you come to your house, you have this feeling that today is the day of Jum'ah and the house is, mutayyib. It has been put into fragrance and there's a'mal happening in the house. And everybody is trying to maximize the benefit of the day of Jum'ah. Now, the next step after you've used fragrance is to do sa'i ila al-Jum'ah. Right? This is a very important part of the Jum'ah, because Allah mentions this specific amal in the Quran. فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. That go towards the remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal, that go towards Salatul Jum'ah on the day of Jum'ah when you hear the adhan. This is why ulama have said that this sa'i has become the means of many things becoming obligatory upon this person, and many things become impermissible when the waqt of sa'i, when the time of sa'i happens. Because from the time you leave your homes or wherever you're coming from for the day of Jum'ah, this is part of that sa'i ila al-Jum'ah. So now your clock has started when you have coming for Jum'ah. This ibadah of sa'i is very essential for the Jum'ah. Because why? Because this is how the reward of a person coming to Jum'ah starts. So this is why when we're coming for Salatul Jum'ah, our mind, our tongue should be involved in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because now you've already started your Jum'ah. Right? You've already started your Jum'ah. Sa'i is one of the action that makes Jum'ah compulsory. If you started the sa'i, now the Jum'ah is already started for you. So from that time until the Imam says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, you are part of this activity of Jum'ah. This is why a lot of times we see that people come early to the masjid, but they're wasting their time elsewhere, right? They're putting their time here, there, talking chai, coffee, whatever. All of these activities on the day of Jum'ah, during the Salat of Jum'ah, it's not considered to be good, and it's not recommended. Because from the time you leave your home for Jum'ah, you come to the masjid, your entire mind, your entire ibadah should be dedicated, your entire time should be dedicated to ibadah. That's why every minute counts, every second counts. Listening Quran or reciting the Quran, reciting specific surahs that have been mentioned, as the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man qara'a Surat al-Kahf fi yawm al-Jum'ah," that whoever recites Surah al-Kahf on the day of Jum'ah, Allah will develop a light for him, a nur, that will last till the next Jum'ah. Right? There will be a light that will develop and will extend till the next Jum'ah, and he will be under that nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Similarly, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Usima min al-fitna, wa in kharaja ad-dajjal usima minhu." That a person who recites Surah al-Kahf on the day of Jum'ah, Allah will protect him from all types of trials. And if Dajjal was to come out during this period, Allah will protect this individual. So this is one of the surahs to recite on the day of Jum'ah. Surah Al-Dukhan, the Prophet ﷺ said, the riwayat of Tabrani, that whoever recites Surah Al-Dukhan on the day of Jum'ah, بُنِيَ لَهُ قَصْرٌ فِي الْجَنَّةِ, Allah makes a palace for him in Jannah. So every single Friday you're reciting Surah Al-Dukhan, there is a palace that is being prepared for you in Jannah. Imagine how many palaces you can make for yourself before you get to that destination. So this is the time to gain benefit, because this is not given to any other day. This is specifically. So we have very short time to maximize it to its best and to its potential, so that we are able to get the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is descending on the day of Jum'ah. But all of this reward can be wasted by the behavior of a person. And this is what Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam said, إِذَا خَرَجَ الْإِمَامِ فَلَا صَلَاةَ وَلَا كَلَامٍ. And when the imam gets up to do the khutbah, there is nothing else that for a believer except to listen to the khutbah. وَمَنْ مَصَّ الْحَصَى فَقَدْ لَغَى. Whoever has touched a small pebble during khutbah, he has done laghw. What does that mean? That the reward of Jum'ah is gone. Because Jum'ah has two things. فَرْضِيَّتُهُ وَثَوَابُهُ فَرْضِيَّتُهَا وَثَوَابُهَا. Right? It's the obligation and it's the reward. So when you do something that is against the etiquettes of Jum'ah, the fardiyya will be, the obligation will be fulfilled, but the reward will be lost. So a person, he is in the assumption, yes, I was here from 12:30 all the way till 2 o'clock till Jum'ah finished. But the reality is he was physically present, mind was somewhere else, is roaming around here and there, looking at what this person is doing or what that guy is doing, or why is he not sitting in this way, or why is this guy on the phone, and then you criticize. That's not what you're here to see, what other people are doing on the day of Jum'ah. You're here to see what you're going to do for the day of Jum'ah. So why waste our reward involving ourselves in the activities that do not concern us and which has no business of us in it? So that's why Nabi alayhi salam was very specific that do not make your reward go away. لا تبطلوا أعمالكم. Don't make your actions go away. When we make an effort to do a good deed, we want to do it in the best way possible so the benefit and the reward can be preserved for us. We ask the Almighty Allah to grant us the understanding. We ask Allah to give us the ability to maximize this day of Jum'ah. And we ask Allah to grant us the full reward of all the good actions that we do on the day of Jum'ah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Subhanallahi wa bihamdi. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka.